South Florida today on NBC6 HD.
Cooking can be a real challenge, especially when you try to make ethnic foods that you may not be familiar with. Ayesha DeMello is owner of Ayesha's Kitchen, and she's here today to teach us a little bit about Indian bread making and the cooking classes that you teach. Ayesha's Kitchen's not a restaurant. We'll get that out right away.
No, it's not a restaurant. That's correct. I basically teach Indian cooking classes, and I also do catering. And the cooking classes I teach out of my home kitchen. I also teach them from others' kitchens, depending on, if the client wants me to come to their kitchen and do a party there.
Okay, let's talk about what you teach and how.
I started off with one cooking class, and today I've got 8 cooking classes, just because the people who've come to my class have asked for more and more. The classes comprise of a 3-hour class. The first couple of hours is cooking. Part of it is hands-on, part of it is demonstration. And the last hour is where we actually sit down and have a fine sit-down meal out in my tiki hut.
Now, do the initial classes, are they more simple? And then do they get more complicated as you progress?
Not necessarily. No. They're all independent of each other.
All right.
And what you learn in one class, you will not repeat in another class.
Cool.
So
well, what kind of things do you teach? What kind of foods?
Well, basically, I've got different verticals, such as I've got a couple of vegetarian classes. So in a vegetarian class, I would teach palak paneer, which is spinach with Indian cheese, garbanzo beans, a dish called chole. So you basically have a main course, a side dish, an appetizer, an Indian bread, an Indian rice, an Indian salad, and a dessert, of course.
All right, I heard the words Indian bread. Looks to me like you have the ingredients to make that for us.
Yes, today we're going to do an Indian bread. And let me tell you, Bob, Indian bread is an integral part of an Indian meal. So you can't have a meal without Indian bread. So today we're going to do an Indian bread. The bread I'm going to be teaching today is called fulkas. It is a variation from chapatis or rotis, which many people have heard of. Indian breads, depending on the region you come from and the local ingredients you get, that's the kind of bread you're going to get.
All right, why don't you get started while you talk to us about it.
What I've got is whole wheat. Whole wheat bread is generally what is made in India. What is very popular, of course, outside of India are breads called naans. Naans are unleavened bread. So I've got some whole wheat in here. I'm adding a little bit of salt. You can opt not to put the salt. Mix that up. And then you put your water and bind it all together.
Has this always been done with whole wheat, or is that just a health thing that you started now?
It is always done with whole wheat bread. The only thing that is not done with whole wheat bread is naans. Like I said, it's made with enriched flour. So while you're kneading this dough, if you feel like the flour is not coming all together, add a little more water. The nice thing about this is it's not like the typical breads where you have to measure everything. So if you've added too much water, fear not, add a little more flour to it, right? And if it's too tough, the dough is just not kneading well, add a little more water to it. So it's a little more water, a little more flour. That's the secret.
You just feel and you know when it's right.
You just feel. You got to use your hands when you're trying to make the dough. Well, if you have a KitchenAid, that's another way you can put it all together. So this is your dough, as you see, right? It's as simple as it gets. Now, the nice thing about the Indian bread that we're making today is it is very plain, not too much flavor. So when you are eating it, it's a nice complement to a very spicy Indian curry. So now I'm going to go over. You've got to try and let this dough sit here for about 20 minutes.
We don't quite have that long, so you're going to have to speed things up somehow.
So here we have. I've definitely speeded up the process. We've got a little bit of dough sitting here. What I'm going to do is golf-sized ball, right? Yep. You take that.
We have exactly 1 minute.
Okay.
So I want to make sure you know where we are here.
So let's turn this on. And now I'm going to roll this out, flatten it. And what's nice is you can eat the bread with, as you can see here, we've got potatoes and peas, yogurt, a lentil soup, some rice, and 3 kinds of homemade pickles that I've made at home that you can very nicely eat with the breads.
Ayesha, you better get that in the pan.
Okay, so here it goes. So now you got to wait for a couple of, well, we don't have a couple of minutes, but you got to wait till you see little bubbles coming up.
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to make this work. we're going to tell the viewers about your cooking class. The next one is February 27th. If you'd like a complete schedule of Ayesha's Indian cooking classes, or just to get more information, go to ayeshaskitchen.com. Now, we're going to take a short break for commercial, and when we come back, that bread's going to be risen
There
and
you
done.
go. Absolutely, absolutely.
Ayesha has 25 seconds to make her magic. Do it.
There we go.
Whoa, there it goes.
Is that how it happens?
And without any
Beautiful.
rising agent, it's purely whole wheat.
Wow, I love that.
All right.
And then
This
you can
smells
put
so
a
good.
little bit of ghee on it.
Ghee, yes.
Right?
I
And
keep that in
really,
the fridge.
and that's it. And then you put
That's
it on
it.
your plate.
And you're
Thanks for
ready.
watching, everybody.
Wow.